After filming the movie's notorious bathtub sequence, where a shotgun is shoved into his mouth, Hawke walked off set physically shaking. He recalled going home at the end of the day feeling as though someone had genuinely just tried to murder him. Hawke faced a dilemma. He was an actor leaving a violent set, and a young father returning to his children, all within the same hour. His body was still humming with the shock of a simulated murder. To survive this collision of worlds, he tried to use a form of mental severance. He attempted to build a thick psychological wall to trap the violent energy of the set so he could remain an empathetic parent at home. But those walls are porous. The dark psychological leakage from his characters threatened to spill over, putting his ability to be a safely present father in real jeopardy. The strategy of locking trauma away in a mental box rarely works. Eventually, those compartmentalized emotions bleed back into the artist's reality. Hawke learned this while acting in a play that required him to portray a deeply suicidal character night after night. He immersed himself in the literature of depression, effectively training his own brain to wake up, see the sunrise, and hate it. Eventually, the sound of children laughing began to make him feel genuinely angry. The danger became so visible that his peer, Mark Rylance, staged an intervention. Rylance warned Hawke that his performance had collapsed into a dangerous physical habit, a form of emotional self-cutting. Trying to sequester trauma doesn't neutralize it. Instead, that hidden distress slowly and inevitably consumes the artist from the inside out. There is a more sustainable way to navigate a life in the arts, one Hawke developed alongside director Richard Linklater. His work on the Before trilogy offered a different approach, the creation of a shadow self named Jesse. Rather than a violent, total immersion that shocks the nervous system, Jesse served as a safe, parallel universe. Hawke could explore complex, intimate ideas by filtering them through this alternate persona. While a thriller requires a short, intense burst of fabricated panic, the Before films spanned 20 years. They used the actual passage of time as their primary medium. Through Jesse, Hawke was able to process his very real developmental milestones. He could work through his evolving ideas on romantic projection, aging, and the daily grind of fatherhood, all within the safety of the character. Great cinema can exist as a decades-long, healthy conversation, drawn directly from the well of love and daily life, rather than a process that breaks the actor's nervous system. Navigating the heavy demands of modern performance without sabotaging your life off-screen requires a specific psychological posture. The answer came from that backstage conversation with Mark Rylance. He told Hawke that to survive the work, an artist cannot build a defensive wall, and they cannot take ownership of the pain. The shift is to act as a conduit. You have to willingly invite the darkness in, witness it, and experience it fully to do the job. But crucially, you must allow those emotions to exit the body when the work is finished. This practice of letting the wind pass through replaces the fragile mental wall of severance with a flexible model of healthy integration. Decades removed from his earliest roles, Hawke recently sat in his basement with his teenage children to watch his 1991 film White Fang. About an hour into the movie, he asked his kids how they were enjoying it. They replied that it was good, but then asked when he was going to show up. They didn't recognize the 19-year-old on the television as their own father. Watching that stranger on the screen, Hawke realized he didn't own his past self, or any of the characters he had spent his life inhabiting. He applied that same understanding directly to his role as a father. He recognized that his children, like his characters, exist outside of his control. They are individuals, not extensions of his own ego. For Hawke, longevity in art and empathy in parenting both rely on this difficult cycle, having the courage to experience deep love and deep pain, followed by the wisdom to let them go.